So now we will present the Balakanakamaya. First, Vignesh is going to sing some raga, and then he's going to present the song with the neraval, with swaram calculations, and then we'll take the same song, we'll show the dance.
Balakanakamaya jena sujana Balakanakamaya jena Balakanakamaya jena Balakanakamaya jena
a stanza where he wants to show his improvisation. So what happens is he keeps singing the same repetition of the line, and he will show a lot of his raga bhavas, swara bhavas, everything in the neraval. And that's where it's not certain that all the singers can choose the same place. It is for the singer's choice where they want to pick within a song to improvise, and that's where they chose. And today he did with Rara. And of course, I was not sure what he's going to do, anything, because nothing has been practiced. That's the way it goes in Carnatic. So once they finish doing the neraval portion, where they do improvisation, they come to the swaram portion.
So, just to add a bit to what Vijay said, neraval lines, like he said, different singers choose different lines based on comfort levels. Many reasons. One can be like how your teacher taught you, the places where there are certain different Banis choose different lines for some songs that comes through the Bani. So that can be one major reason. I generally prefer try to pick up lines which are easy to connect with the audience, which is not like too complicated, doesn't have too much of philosophical meaning or something that connects emotionally, that can be understood easily. One which has like lesser number of words in it, because you will have to fill the line and sing it multiple times. If you have too many words, it's tough to like put it. And basically that helps you decide. As far as the swaram goes, for this you can sing it in neraval also. You can sing it in multiple columns. One is a slower speed, then you sing it in a madhyama column, then your higher column. Then the next part comes with the swaram. Today I just sang it in the upper column, but you can also sing it in the lower column. You just sing it to the place where the words start. So the song at least the neraval line starts after 6 aksharams. So you basically start with filling the 6 swarams, and then you keep on adding rounds to it, and then you come there. On top of that, you can sing swarams in different ways. You can sing patterns like how I did like patterns, and you can also do like kanaka.
So when it comes to Mridangam, how it's being played, the same song. So Tirupati record. So here I have to follow the singer. I have to keep thinking about the words, the punch lines, the placement of the words within the song, how it is fitting with talam, what I can do. These are my thoughts goes when I accompany for Carnatic music. So I'll show you some examples.
Balakanakamaya.
It starts in the street, find it. It starts in the street. So I start like
Jai
for my singing that day. That's how the singer gets the mood, and also it will give energy to the audience also. Suddenly I'm doing some silence, and then that exactly the word the song starts. So these are the things, intricacies that a Mridangam accompaniment for Carnatic music will follow during the Carnatic concert. Now, the switch turns on to dance mode now. Okay? Don't ask me how it happens. So, we have not practiced this with Ameya, so it's all going to be on fly. So, let's try.
Can I say one thing really quick?
Sure.
I was sitting back here enjoying for Vidruta Sharajala. The way you played it seems like arrows being shot. That was really fun. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Vidruta Sharajala, the way what you were saying, that's like somebody was shooting arrows at someone. So that was a really fun piece.
Right. Thank you.
So we are just going to go through the Pallavi and Anupallavi quickly, just once, and then Ameya is going to do a sanchari for Rara Deva Deva for that. The same line that I sang for neraval, she's doing.
So the neraval portion what you took as a singer to improvise, the same verse is going to be taken for dance as a sanchari. So neraval is nothing but sanchari for the dancer to improvise, to show some story, to show some expressions. That's where the dancer comes in. The same line. So that's good.
So they have chosen the Pallavi. Usually in the Carnatic concerts, this song we start with the Anupallavi and then go to the Pallavi. They have choreographed it with the Pallavi first and the Anupallavi. So in the correct order.
Yeah.
When it comes to sanchari, first the singer has to understand the story. The Mridangist should understand the story. The violinist or the flautist should understand the story. If any one of them don't understand the story, it's very difficult to play. It's difficult to play, sing, anything. Because the expressions all coming from the dancer is all the mood that we have to give the mood to the dancer. And the dancer has to present that. The singer should know when to sing really hard, when to soften. He should know it. As well as for me, the same job. The violinist should pick up where they can play so that it will embellish the song. So the singer can give a break actually. There is also an understanding between the violin, flautist and the singer, how they can all three coordinate when they do a sanchari. It's not necessary that the singer has to keep on repeating 25 times or 35 times, it doesn't make sense. When it's really a story, according to the scene, each one of us should play an important role. So, I don't know how many of you know the story. Can you explain the story to them so I can show where I played, really hard, softened.
So, the lyrics themselves don't refer to any story. They're just saying Rara Deva Di Deva. They're calling for the Lord to come. But since the song is about Rama, I was thinking one episode from the Ramayana where the character is really longing for Rama and waiting for Rama to come is the story of Shabari Moksha. So there, she is in the forest and she is waiting for Lord Rama to come. And she is there for many, many years. And what I learned was that by the time he comes, the part of the story that I already knew was that by the time he comes, she is an old lady who's, she can barely see, and she's just, feeling maybe that she has forgotten about her. And what I learned a little bit more just this week actually was that when Rama comes, the forest comes alive. And that's one of the signs that that she gets that he's coming. And what I wanted to show was that just how long she'd be waiting. So I first showed how every day she would go and get water, and she would pick berries and flowers and have them ready for when Rama comes. But I wanted to show how time had passed with the different weather and seasons changing, and she had transformed into an old lady. And finally he comes. So that's the story, and that's also how we had tried to present it.
So, let's pick a moment on this. You come as an old lady. So, completely I will switch off what he is saying, I don't care. Okay? Because my focus is their attention to the dancer. Whatever the expression, whatever the mood, I have to do some justice to it. Do many calculations on that. But all these things I have to keep in my pocket when it comes to dance. We can do that, somebody coming in the old form. They have to keep on every 4 strokes, 4 beats, 4 notes. Otherwise it's very difficult. Even if they have to do some sort of expression, I have to match to that expression to give any kind of effects. It has to fall on the talam beat. If it is off the talam, it will never match. It's going to be very bad. So that's another challenge, that all the dancers should be having the talam knowledge going in their mind to do this. So if you notice this, he was keep on singing, but I didn't care about when the rara comes, when it doesn't go, I don't care. All I was concentrating, focusing on dancer, what is her mood, what is her expression, what is her timing sense, when she's going to throw the food down, when she's going to feed Rama. Those are things that goes in my mind, and I have to keep following that. So the bottom line for playing for dance is we need to follow the dancing. Not only me, everybody, the orchestra, entire orchestra should understand, should follow whatever the dancer goes and what the dancer does.
So, how do you decide how much you want to push your vocal side up?
Well, I will explain some, you can explain it from this experience. So that's what I'm saying, when the neraval portion, when it comes to pure Carnatic, it is their show, this guy's show. So he has to show all his possibilities of how he can handle that single verse in multiple ways, show it mathematically or with the raga, bhava, anything. When it comes to dance, it's purely for dancer. That the story is going on, but you will hear the same line is repeated 40 times. That's why it's always good for them to take a break and either the violinist pick some of the portion and go along with the story, give some background like in a movie, like a background score, and some few spots. Whereas the flautist or veena or whoever they can pick and take it. So, from the audience perspective, it's all focused on dancing. So what story is going on? What is for us? It's nothing. It's plain, in my opinion.
Well, I had seen one video of Vijay on YouTube, and she had beautifully explained how a singer should sing for a dancer. So they repeat the same line up to 40 times, 50 times, but she trains her vocalist to give the punch or to make it lighter or to put the sangati or not to put the sangati or sing it plain or whatever based on the story they are performing. So it cannot be his choice. It is all practiced. It is all planned. We cannot just do whatever. Today they have done impromptu. That's a different story. But in a dance performance, it has to highlight the dancer's mood, their expression, and we are all supporting the dancer to bring out the best expression. It is not that we are showing our talent. He may be an extraordinary singer, I don't care. I want him to help us enhance the dancer's performance. He will be given an option to show his talent when he does his kacheri. So that is the difference. That is the reason they don't get to do so much of this thing. We explain them what is the expressions she is doing, where we want them to soften it, where we want them to put that stress, where those words have to be stressed more. All these are needed so that the dancer's expressions are really, it helps them to enhance their expression. It gives the mood also for them to do better.
Is there a training for that or?
Usually we, I always think that if one person is singing for a school of dance, if they continue for a long time, it's an understanding. It is an understanding between the singer, me, the Mridangam. So, the orchestra being steady for a long time always helps. Now, I have worked with Vijay Ganesh for a long time. He knows exactly where my jatis will come, how and how it will end, how it will go. So, even if he has not practiced, he has an idea of what Sarada is. So, that kind of an understanding has to develop. With Vignesh also, I have worked for my last Rangapravesam. He because we have worked over 1 year, 2 years, what happens is they kind of understand what I need. Unless we have that kind of understanding, it's very difficult to run a whole dance performance. Because if they close their eyes and start singing, I have to. It becomes difficult for all of us. So we need people who are alert, who will follow the dancer. I see of late lot of singers, they will just keep the count and sing. That happens when we have to keep on changing the musicians. So that is the reason if you have the same singer do with us for a long time, we see that it's easier to work with them because they understand the dance, they understand what has to be sung, what is expected by the teacher, by the student. So it helps.
what Madam said is truly 100% right, because a singer he cannot do on his own. It's very difficult to keep count 40 times. Where he can hear with 10 fingers, how many? It's very difficult. But if you understand the story part, that will help him to when to take the next verse.
And the dancer might not do the same thing every time, right? Especially if it's a story.
That is also
Sanchari.
true. Yes.
I think both times I did it, there were variations. I don't
Absolutely, yes.
So that's where it's got to be a communication between everyone.
So is that true only during Sanchari part or even the other parts?
See, Sanchari, not only Sanchari, suppose she forgets a line. We are all humans, right? She may just miss, the dancer may miss one whole line, and they keep count. I have seen that happen. The singer just sings the count, and then she or he kind of starts
The next one.
and then they start making up because they don't know. Yeah, the beauty of live orchestra is we are able to work with the dancer and cover all their mistakes. We give them the option to do as many mistakes as possible. When the singer counts, we cannot do that. We can as well do with an audio CD. So that is, it really helps when the musicians understand what they are doing. And it comes as they keep singing. Just as he has picked up every varnam by playing and listening, the singer picks up singing for dance by just listening and playing it, singing number of times. But nowadays
That's the reason why Carnatic singer is not for dance and dance singer is not for Carnatic.
I think you need to appreciate the dance a bit. I'm sure you all saw me sing neraval, and when seeing, like Sarada ji said, you have to see the dancer. We didn't rehearse this. Ameya just said it's going to be Shabari Moksham. So you kind of have an idea what the sequence is going to be. The final one would be Rama is coming, giving the fruit. So those are like the highlight portions of the sanchari itself. So at those locations, personally I think you have to go to the upper, the shajam, go up and then sing it at that point. And for the all.
But when do you sing it? When Rama appears in real form and
so it's subjective. Like this one is not rehearsed. So you're doing it right there. You're just seeing them. I'm not even on the side. I'm just behind her. I'm guessing what she's doing.
But in a real show, yes, the singer has to understand and like how I am able to embellish the scene. Likewise, the singer has to understand. He has to embellish his way of singing, presentation at that time. When to softer like Sarada. So it's all understanding between us.
So I would like to add that the Mridangam also helps you decide what is the focus there and like what is like the highlight place and where to like keep yourself low or sing soft. Like when there is not much happening, when there is like she's showing age transition and all that. He doesn't play a lot on the Mridangam, it's just Sarbalago and very soft. You keep your voice soft at those points and at places where it's actually the highlight piece, right, or highlight moment, you get a cue from the dancer and the Mridangam. For a kacheri neraval, I think it goes the other way. The Mridangam player like takes more from the singer, and then of course the singer also gets a bit from the Mridangam player for neraval as far as neraval goes. But for this one, I think the singer depends a lot on the dancer and the Mridangam. So I think it goes the other way.